If you see Colonel Sanders turning into Obama or KFC become UFC in China, don't be too shocked, because KFC is not actually legal there. The iPhone 17 isn't out yet, but already a fake one running Android is being sold in China. It's not the perfect knockoff, but it's good enough to get the trend chasers excited. How far have counterfeit products from China come? Let me show you. Let's start with blind box cigarettes from online shopping. The famous cigarette brand Big Front Door has turned into Big Anal. The well-known Chinese brand Zhonghua became Zhongdu, which means poison. This counterfeit product still has some cultural value. Opening another blind box, we find a few bottles of drinks. The brand Nutritional Fast line has become Nutritional Nothing. Looking at the ingredient list, it says bull milk and rotten fruit, which seems to go beyond a mere counterfeit, making it at least a little bit more honest than some real products. Then there's the manufacturer Wahaha, whose name is changed to Wasasa. It's funny because the name is similar in sound, and in written Chinese, the characters are similar. Recently, Wahaha has faced some scandals, like the former chairman's downfall and a lawsuit over inheritance rights. Looks like the problem is in the name Wa, which means child in Chinese. In the end, this might be a lose-lose situation. A netizen opens a box containing Old Godmother chili sauce, Lao Gan Ma, only to find it labeled Old Thing, which is a term used to insult someone in China. Another box opens to a bottle of men's shampoo labeled Adidas. But wait, it's not Adidas, it's Adios, which sounds like a loser in Chinese. And check this out. The product boasts 13-in-1 features, which is actually a phrase used as an insult in Shanghai dialect. The 13-in-1 includes shampoo, conditioner, body wash, toothpaste, mouthwash, eye drops, toilet cleaner, egg whites, sports drinks, and engine oil. Let's just say blind box opening has become a funny trend. But now let's look at the real deal. This is the kind of counterfeit that really packs a punch. Counterfeit KFC and McDonald's chains. In China's world of knockoffs, KFC is always the top target. These fake brands have become so successful, they've practically created their own alphabet song. Let's go straight for the English names like KFG, MFC, or YKC, while others play off the Chinese name for KFC, which is Kengdeji, like Kengtaji, Zhongkenji, and Kenmaiji. What's even funnier is that street vendors have jumped on the bandwagon, opening their own KFC branches and dominating the roadside market. Some even found long-lost illegitimate children of KFC and McDonald's, with names like Ken-Donald's, McFC, and McKF, which have gained fame in the food industry. Some clever business owners realized that the chicken market was saturated, so they switched to selling ducks, opening a shop called UFC in Beijing's Haidian district, with a logo that looks like Obama's face. This isn't Obama's first time endorsing Chinese knockoffs. In Hainan, there's a health drink called Ba Manu, and a clothing factory in Fujian once hired someone who closely resembled Obama to shoot an ad. Real estate developers eager to sell more apartments even started the fake signboard business. One netizen was scammed when he saw a McDonald's sign on the highway. He drove 7 kilometers to get a burger, only to find that the location was empty. These fake signs are so convincing. They look identical, and even the logo is spot on. Another netizen shared a similar experience, cycling for miles to reach what he thought was a McDonald's, only to find it was a fake, leaving him and his friends disappointed. Some developers don't just make fake signs, they even create 3D drawings. One severely nearsighted netizen saw a 7-Eleven from a distance, thinking it was open, but when he got closer, he realized it was just a printed picture. The real estate knockoff agent, Evergrande, even built a KFC in one of its properties, complete with a children's play area, all set up to welcome the real KFC. A friend who worked as a real estate agent said that high-end developments often use the most counterfeit methods to attract attention, like a Lawson convenience store instead of Lawson, Ruisheng Coffee instead of Luckin Coffee, and KCF pretending to be KFC. Even the Colonel Sanders knockoff looks like a noodle master, with creativity that leaves people dizzy. In Jinan, one developer went as far as to open a fake subway station as part of their city layout, with ads for the property claiming convenient transportation along the subway line. Who wouldn't be tempted by that? In Fujian's Zhangzhou port, a developer even went as far as to create a fake construction site for the Xiamen undersea tunnel. Even the China Railway Tunnel Bureau, after inspecting the site, must have been questioning whether this was their own project. These counterfeit signs are mainly about creating an atmosphere. In real estate, a McDonald's branch in the development can often raise the price of the property by tens of thousands of yuan per square meter. 2. Counterfeit word games. You might think you're buying Oreos, but when you open the package, you find it's Oreo. Along with Oreo, there's also Oreao, all names that look incredibly similar in Chinese characters or sound exactly the same. Oreo has truly been played with. Wang Lo Kat means Wang Lo Sir also seems to have more weight than Lo Kat. There's also Wang Lo Zhen, Wang Lo Gu, Wang Lo Ju, and even Wang Lo Chicken, all names that sound the same or have similar shapes in Chinese characters. Then there's Nongfu Spring that means Nongming Spring. Nongming means farmers. This brand name instantly puts all the farmers in a tricky spot. Master Kong turns into Shui Fu Kong or Kuang Shui Bo, all just a stroke away in Chinese. Pepsi Cola becomes Funeral Cola in a similar stroke swap, with the same pronunciation, although this cola is probably not something anyone would dare to drink. The tea drink world is just as lively. Xiaoming classmate has turned into Xiaofang classmate, Xiaomao classmate, Xiaomeng classmate, all ready to form a class of their own. Even walnut drinks have become popular targets for knockoffs. 6 walnuts has been counterfeited to 6 people walnuts, adult walnuts, 6 big walnuts, golden 6 walnuts, and even big walnuts. The names are so close to the originals, especially the characters for big and 6, they look incredibly real. The boldest one is 6 billion walnuts. This name dropped like a bombshell, clearly signaling a game changer. White Rabbit milk candy has been transformed into Great Egret milk candy, with the name, pun, and packaging all 100% similar. When Liu Qiangdong, CEO of JD.com, visited his hometown, he discovered an even more exaggerated phenomenon. Many of the products in his village were fakes.
2 years ago, I visited my hometown and noticed something shocking. In our village's small shops, more than 30% of the products are counterfeit. For example, Wahaha mineral water is well known, but I found one brand called Mahaha mineral water. The packaging was identical to Wahaha, except they swapped a single letter, changing W to M, and the price was even higher than Beijing.
What's even crazier is the Muji incident. A Chinese company that knocked off Japanese brand Muji actually sued the original Japanese Muji for trademark infringement, and won. As a result, the Chinese characters for Muji disappeared from some products, leaving only the English logo. A knockoff company beating the original? This story is more surreal than a movie. When Pinduoduo went public, the entire counterfeit world celebrated. Pinduoduo brought products that were once only available at rural markets into a mobile app. As the company's CEO, Huang Zheng, said, the core isn't just about being cheap, it's about giving people that sense of getting a good deal. 3. Counterfeit phones. Before Apple phones took over China, there was truly a mind-boggling golden age of counterfeit phones. One phone even came with a built-in razor feature. You could open the bottom of the device, and a battery-powered razor would pop out. The manufacturers proudly claimed that it was a masterpiece that allowed you to shave while making calls. They even got David Beckham to endorse the phone, with the startup animation showing Beckham shaving. The designs were even more creative. One phone was made to look like a Zhonghua cigarette box. Not only could it make calls and take pictures, but it could also store cigarettes. There were also cars shaped like phones. Ferraris, Porsches, Audis, you name it. There was a phone version for every luxury car. Some phones had truly bizarre designs, like dual batteries, one of which housed a hidden camera for secret snapshots while charging. The manufacturers really went all out in a way that gave you the chills. The most outrageous was the projection phone, claiming to offer a giant screen right in the palm of your hand. There were also TV phones that could receive wireless television signals, and even stranger designs like lighter phones and cigarette box phones, truly a match made in heaven. Then there were speakerphones that looked normal from the front, but had a huge speaker on the back. There was also a money-checking phone with a built-in UV light to check the authenticity of banknotes. In an era of rampant counterfeit currency, this actually met a real market need. 4. Counterfeit luxury cars. Recently, the Lao Toule car show was held at the Shandong International Exhibition Center in Jinan, China. At first glance, the event looked like any other official car show, but as you walk into the venue, the sight will definitely leave you speechless. This wasn't a display of high-tech electric vehicles, but rather a collection of laughably ridiculous counterfeit luxury cars. One model, the Xiaomi SU0.7, copied the SU7 in its design, from the iconic-shaped headlights to the continuous rear taillights. The interior used Mercedes-Benz S-Class design language, but with cheap plastic trim and fake wood detailing. What was truly shocking were the high-pitched speakers on the door panels, which were decorated with household seasoning jar lids. Of course, the most surprising part was the price. The knockoff SU7 was selling for just 11,700 RMB, with options for air conditioning and a range extender. The air conditioning cost an additional 1,300 RMB, while the range extender was 950 RMB. This kind of creativity is both amusing and baffling, definitely the counterfeit version of a counterfeit. There was also a model called Lan Lo Xian Sheng, featuring a two-tone roof with Fuji white and wood gold. The manufacturer proudly claimed that this color combination would cost over 10,000 RMB as an option on the official Land Rover website. Porsche wasn't left out either. A four-door Porsche 9.11 was showcased, featuring the iconic headlights with bumper daytime running lights. But upon closer inspection, the car badge did not say Porsche, but Porsche. Inside, it was equipped with a 360-degree panoramic view system, boasting image quality comparable to the real Porsche. The car even came with optional sport chrono components, with green dashboard gauges. In a real Porsche, you'd need to spend 147,000 RMB for the heritage design package to get these features. Another model was a knockoff of the Maserati Quattroporte, or the Berlin sound system, but in reality it was Shandong sound, and the entire car sold for 5,998 RMB. Not only were regular luxury brands imitated, but ultra-luxury brands too. Take the Rolls-Royce La Rosse, for example. The most interesting feature is butterfly doors. The interior was a plain imitation of the current Mercedes-Benz A-Class, with some added ambient lighting. However, when you look at the door panels, surprisingly the rear seat space was still quite spacious, comparable to the standard Ghost model. If you think Rolls-Royce is a bit too flashy, take a look at this BYD Haizhe. The level of the replication is impressively high. Not only is the exterior replicated, but the interior is nearly identical as well. The color combinations are even copied from the Hi-O model, also known as the Seagull, with pink exterior and interior, as well as yellow-green exterior and blue interior options. There are also booths counterfeit parts suppliers at the event. Some offer replica gear shifters, steering wheels, and even four-wheel drive systems. For just 3,000 RMB, you can add a 250cc engine to the front of your car. How hot is this market? According to the sales representatives at the event, some big brands with automated production lines sell thousands of units each month, while smaller brands sell 1,000 or 2,000 vehicles. These cars don't just sell in China, they're also exported. A car that costs 10,000 RMB in China can be sold for 10,000 USD in North America. Now let's look at some of the latest counterfeit innovations. There's the Ferrari versus Ferrari. This one is a horse, the other is a donkey. The same goes for Labubu versus Lafufu. These are outdated now. Now even brand name diapers have counterfeits. On the left is the real black gold gang brand, and on the right is the fake one. They don't even hesitate to mess with baby products. Let's test them. First, the softness. The fake one tears when it touches a bubble, while the real one can massage a bubble. The authentic diaper can pass through a ring, but the fake one can't. Next, we mixed a syrup solution to simulate a baby's bowel movements. When poured into the container, the real diaper absorbs it immediately, leaving not a single drop behind. The fake one, however, does nothing. Finally, a heat test. The real product quickly opens up the metal flower, while the fake one barely reacts. Counterfeit jade is even more profitable. Unlawful practitioners use low-cost materials, such as Qinghai jade and Han jade, and employ chemical dyeing methods to create fake Hetian jade. Once these fakes pass inspection, the profits are astronomical. Unless you're a highly skilled professional in the industry, it's nearly impossible for ordinary customers to tell the difference between genuine and counterfeit jade. In China's jade industry, there's an even more impressive trick called monkey hair removal solution. This solution can extract impurities from high-end jade, leaving the surface looking polished and with a better sheen. The latest generation of the solution supposedly doesn't damage the jade's surface gloss, and even makes it appear more lustrous.
各位朋友好，今天给大家带来全网首发的
Let's take a look at the complete jade optimization process. The video shows a full 10-hour process of optimizing jade. As the optimization progresses, you can see fewer bubbles until the impurities are entirely removed. The effect is clear for all to see, truly remarkable.
Let's look at the counterfeit spirit in the literary world, as seen in blind box book unboxings. The first book's cover, printed beautifully, says Romeo and Juliet versus zombies. The second one, also printed beautifully, is titled Cao Xueqin Poisoning Emperor Yongzheng. It's not a time travel story, but a deep dive into brain cells. The third book is Sun Wukong versus the Transformers, where the Transformers are turned into monsters. Netizens joked that even the literary world can be counterfeited. What can't they replicate? Watching this entire industry chain, one can't help but admire the spirit of innovation in counterfeits. People are wondering, in the Chinese government's so-called advanced weapon systems, could there also be counterfeit products or parts? It seems quite likely. It's even been reported that last year, China's most elite missile unit, which was highly regarded, had its officers engaging in corruption at every level. Due to dissatisfaction with their treatment, some lower-ranking soldiers replaced the missile's liquid fuel with water. It's clear that China's counterfeit spirit will continue to take over various fields, including the most critical areas like national defense and scientific research, using this innovation in ways we might never expect.